Hello bookworms, I'm Becca and today I'm coming at you with another book review. Today I'm going to be reviewing The Sacred Lies of Minnow Bly by Stephanie Oakes. This is Stephanie Oakes' debut novel and it came out last year, I believe, in 2015. It's about a teenage girl named Minnow Bly, and 12 years previous to the book starting, a man came along to her very rural town. He described himself as a prophet, so Minnow's father and mother followed this prophet to the woods and they named themselves the Kevinians because the guy's name was Kevin, and so they started this kind of cult commune out in the middle of the woods where they stayed for 12 years. During this time, Minnow never really believed in what the prophet was talking about. She always had her doubts and had a lot of different questions. Finally, it got to the point where she wanted to escape, but unfortunately, when she tried to escape, she was captured and the prophet ordered her hands to be cut off. So now Minnow doesn't have any hands, and that was such a unique perspective to read about because it's not something that you get a lot of the times in books. And from the original description, I thought that it was something that happened very early on in her life, but really she's only been without hands for a couple of months before the book really begins. So she's still coming to terms with the fact that she doesn't have hands and trying to do those everyday tasks that we kind of take for granted because we do have hands. Now the thing about Minnow is she's currently in a juvenile detention center because she committed a crime. I'm not going to go into detail about what the crime was. So the story is told from two different timelines. The one present day where she's in the juvenile detention center, and then another timeline where she's looking back and telling about the cult and what it was like living in the woods. And so it's a very interesting clash of two worlds where one being in the cult is very simplistic, but when she's in the juvenile detention center, she's learning about all of these modern day things that she had fallen out of. And there's a lot of talk about religion, but I think that it's handled in a very interesting way that kept me very intrigued through the entire time that I was reading this book. The writing itself in the book was so addicting. It sucked me in from page one. I tried to savor the story as much as I could because it was just something special. I don't know how to word it any differently than that. It just was very special and something that I want to pass on to other people just so that they'll have the ability to experience it. Moving on to some of the characters, I will say that there's not a lot of character development in the story. There's mainly the characters of Minnow, her cellmate Angel. There's a couple other side characters, but of course Minnow is the main focus, and even her character doesn't have a very big arc throughout the story. I would say the main way that Minnow changes is that she learns how to read, and she starts kind of adapting to this modern world that she was taken out of at such a young age. So it was interesting to see her revisiting stuff that had happened in the cult, but now she's kind of seeing it with fresh eyes because she's developing her own opinion about the world. So it was unique to see, but I didn't feel like the characters were as fleshed out as they could have been. So I did want a little bit more from the characters, and I don't think that I really got it, but it's okay because the plot was so interesting that it didn't really bother me that much. After I finished this book, I did give it a 5 out of 5 star rating because the plot was so unique. I ended up bumping my rating down to a 4 stars because of the characters. The more I think about the book and the more I try to get my thoughts together about the book, the more I'm thinking that I did want more from these characters and I just didn't get it. And the story leaves off in a very ambiguous way, which is good, but it's also bad because there is one plot point that pops up about halfway through the book that I really wanted to see come to fruition, if it was going to happen or if it wasn't going to happen. Overall, I thoroughly enjoyed this book. If you have not read The Sacred Lies of Minnow Bly, even though it did come out last year, I definitely recommend picking it up because I thought it was an extremely phenomenal book, especially for a debut novel. And those are all my thoughts and feelings on The Sacred Lies of Minnow Bly. If you've read this book, make sure to let me know what you thought about it down below in the comments. If you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below to see more bookish videos. That's all I got for you guys today. I'll see you next time.